Good afternoon, everybody. I am Dr. Jagdare. Now we will study one of the very interesting phenomenon in the life of plant related with the loss of water through the plant body, and name of that phenomenon is transpiration. So while studying this phenomenon, we will discuss some of the points. So introductory part of this transpiration, its definition, types, and main organ related to the transpiration, responsible for transpiration, that is stomata, how it look, how it open and how it closes. Then the factors affecting rate of transpiration, external as well as internal, and discussion related to the significance of transpiration. Some more bits we will study in this chapter, which are related to the applications, how to reduce the rate of transpiration in crop plants. That bit is related with this and phenomenon, and name of that bit is antitranspirants. One more phenomenon of water loss which is observed in the plants, that is guttation, and another one, that is exudation. Now we can see transpiration. Transpiration is the loss of water in the form of vapor through plant organs or entire plant body. This is the definition. Once I will repeat: loss of water in the form of vapors. See, in the form of vapors, these vapors here in this figure, diagrammatically, the loss of water is shown over here. So loss of water in the form of vapor through plant organs or entire plant body. This phenomenon of transpiration is of prime importance. We call this phenomenon as actually evil but unavoidable. So commonly it is called that transpiration is a necessary evil. Discuss. Transpiration is a necessary evil. So while studying this chapter, after completion of the study, one can discuss the statement just now I have made. See, in introductory part, one can see here the data related to the transpiration. Actually, 1 or 2% of the water absorbed by the plant is utilized by the plant to perform various biological activities, while rest of water, that is from 98 to 99%, is lost in the form of vapor. So through this figure, one can say that very little amount of the water is required by the plant. Then most of the water is lost in the form of vapor. So there is always surplus of water in the plant body. So this surplus water is lost from the aerial surface of plants in the form of vapor. And actually, what is the phenomenon here related with the loss of the water in the form of vapor, that we are going to study thoroughly. See here, if we see the plant like Crotalaria gentiana, in its life cycle, this plant loses around about 27 kilogram of water during 4 to 5 months. Another plant, Helianthus anus, means sunflower. It loses about 56 kilogram of water in its life cycle. Take the example of Zea mays. It transpires about a barrel of water in its life cycle of few weeks. Birch tree, Betula pendula. Suppose if it is having 2 lakh leaves, it transpires about 300 to 400 kilogram of water during summer in a single day. One more thing, example we will see, beech tree, Fagus sylvatica. It loses about 75 kilogram of water per day during summer season. Now example of beech maple forest. These trees, suppose in a forest about 400 to 600 trees they are there, then these trees collectively we can say loses about 20,000 barrels of water per day. See the huge amount of water loss. Just idea, I have given you some of the examples I have given you, and these examples, through these examples one can say that this is a very huge loss due to this physiological phenomenon which we call it as transpiration. Just here the diagrammatic figure of the plant is here. So root and root hairs responsible for absorption of water from the soil. So water absorbed by roots, the direction is given through the stem. Water travels, reaches up to the top, and here foliage they have shown, and overall process how ascent of sap that takes place, that direction is here. So under sun, or you can say during day, the loss of water takes place through the open stomata. So water evaporates from the lip surface, and the process we call it as a transpiration. So this process is of great importance. On one hand, just now we have discussed it is the process where huge loss of water takes place, even though it is essential. And what are the different reasons why we call it is essential one? Those things also we will study in this. As we have seen, transpiration is a loss of water in the form of vapors from aerial parts of the plants. There is also another simple definition, can be asked for 1 mark. So here in the figure, bell jar is kept, inside which there is a potted plant, and inside the bell jar the vapors accumulate and water droplets, they are shown over here. Now types of transpiration. Loss of water takes place through different plant organs, and on the basis of which is the plant organ responsible, there are main three types of transpiration. One through cuticle, call it as a cuticular transpiration. Second, through lenticels, call it as a lenticular transpiration. And most important, through open stomata, call it as a stomatal transpiration. So, at first, we will see related with the cuticular transpiration. So cuticle actually it is a outermost layer present on the epidermis. Through cuticle, which is present on the epidermis of leaves and stem of herbaceous plants. So actually it is meant for prevention of loss of water from the plants. But water is lost through the cuticle when there are some cracks in it. When it is in the form of a thin layer, even water is lost from the cuticle. Nearly, we can say 5% of water loss takes place through the cuticle. Cuticle is impervious to water. It does not allow water to pass through easily. And that's why cuticular transpiration is inversely proportional to the thickness of cuticle. More the thickness, less will be the loss. Thinner the cuticle, more loss of water by this process. Plants, we know, they are exposed to the sunlight, have thick cuticle, while plants in shady areas have thin cuticle. Cuticle is present in herbaceous stems, flower parts, and fruits even. Generally, xerophytic plants have very thick cuticle to avoid transpiration. Now, second type, lenticular transpiration. So here in this figure, structure of lenticel we can see. So these are see here cork cells, then inside these loosely arranged cells, call them as a complementary cells, and here ruptured epidermis somewhere here, and loosely arranged complementary cells This is the open surface. See here, open surface through the, as epidermis is not there, and these are nothing but the lenticels. These are nothing but the lenticels. So through these lenticels, water vapors, they go out in the form of vapors. Water is given out. So in this case, lenticular transpiration, it is called lenticular transpiration as water loss takes place through the lenticels. In woody plants, after secondary growth, epidermis is replaced by periderm or cork, whose outer layers consist of dead cells. We can say them as a cork tissue. Thus, lenticels are the slits in the bark of woody plants, which are filled with loosely arranged complementary cells. Water vapor escapes out from these complementary cells of lenticels. So lenticular transpiration mostly occur in the stem of woody trees and fruits. Quite negligible amount of water loss, around about 0.1% as compared to the 5% of cuticular transpiration. Only here 0.1% of total loss of water takes place by this process, that is lenticular transpiration. And that is lenticular transpiration. Okay. Now we will go towards another type of transpiration, that is stomatal transpiration. Stomatal transpiration. So while understanding the stomata, here in the figure, upper and lower epidermis, that is shown. Upper and lower epidermis is here. So next to epidermis or below epidermis, palisade tissue. Some area shows spongy tissues. This is a vascular bundle, and here the openings. See here, opening is shown. These are the guard cells, and opening of stomata. Here also another stomata somewhere here. Some air cavities they are there. So this is the internal structure of lip. Internal structure of lip. Now one more enlarged portion of peeling of the lip, in which one can see the stomata, guard cells, dotted one. Surrounding to those guard cells, some epidermal cells, to which we call them as subsidiary cells, near to the stoma. This is stomatal pore. So this is the enlarged portion, we can say, or peeling present on the lip surface. Here one stomata, diagrammatically it is represented here. See the structure of stomata. So inner, this thicker one, that is the inner wall of guard cell. See, actually guard cell, one of the guard cell I will show here, that is here. The inner side is thicker one, outer cell wall is thinner one. What are the other things present in the surrounding cells? Are subsidiary cells. These surrounding cells, they are subsidiary cells. Actually guard cell what it is having. So outer thin wall, inner thick wall, just now I have told you, entirely call it as a guard cell. Shape of guard cell may be different in different plants, maybe kidney shaped or dumbbell shaped shape or of other shape. Guard cell bear chloroplast. It means photosynthesis is done in the guard cell as it bear the chloroplast. It has its cell organelle like central vacuole, nucleus is also there and rich with cytoplasm. And the opening in between two guard cells, here, that is the stomatal pore. So whenever guard cells are turgid, space is created in between and stomata opens. This is what related with the structure of stomata. In this figure, open stomata, here open stomata structure and closed stomata. So whenever guard cell is turgid, both the guard cells, they create space in between and stomata opens. And here in other figure, due to flaccidity of the guard cell, when guard cell loses water, the inner thick walls come together, and there is no space in between two guard cells, and thus stomata closes. So these two figures show the structure of open stomata and closed stomata. Now we will go towards the stomatal transpiration. So this is the third type. First, critical transpiration, whereby only 5% of total water loss in the form of vapor takes place. Second, lenticular transpiration occurs through lenticels and only 0.1% of the total loss of water takes place by this process. Now, remaining loss of water in the form of vapor through different plants is through stomatal transpiration. So this is the third type. We have seen structure of stomata. Now we will see some details related to the stomatal transpiration. So why it is called as stomatal transpiration? Loss of water occurs through stomata, and that's why it is called as a stomatal transpiration. Stoma is singular, stomata is a singular stoma. So stoma, these are the minute pores or openings present in the epidermis of the leaf. Generally, number of stomata is more on lower surface of leaves, but in monocots they are equal in number on both leaf surfaces. In aquatic plants, for example Pistia or Eichhornia, they are present only on upper surface of leaves. Stomatal transpiration is lowest when stomata are fully closed, and it is rapid when stomata are ultimately fully open. Actually, stomata on an average occupy about 1 to 2% of total lip area. 1 to 2% of total lip area. And about 80 to 90% of water loss takes place by this type of transpiration, stomatal transpiration. It means leaves are the main transpiring organs as they have stomata on their surfaces. So factors affecting the rate of transpiration, external factors and internal factors, both of them, they affect the process of transpiration. First external factor is temperature. So water evaporates more at high temperature than at low temperature. As a result, increase in temperature increases the rate of transpiration and vice versa. Second factor is light. Light affects the rate of transpiration by increasing temperature. Light increases the rate of transpiration. Light affects opening and closing of stomata by increasing or decreasing turgidity of the guard cells. Stomata normally open during day, light, and close during night. However, in CAM plants, cradulacean acid metabolism having plants, in these plants, stomata are closed during day and remain open during night. This is for reducing the rate of loss of water or transpiration. Third factor is atmospheric humidity. If atmospheric humidity is more, rate of transpiration becomes less and vice versa. It means rate of transpiration is inversely proportional to the humidity of the atmosphere. Then atmospheric pressure. If atmospheric pressure is higher, rate of transpiration is low because of increase in density of air. If atmospheric pressure is low, rate of transpiration is higher. It means rate of transpiration is inversely proportional to the atmospheric pressure. Next factor, water content of the soil. Actually, plants absorb enough water if water is available in the soil. If the rate of absorption is less, it results in decrease in the rate of transpiration. It means soil water controls the rate of transpiration. One more factor, that is air current. So when wind blows, it removes water vapors from the vicinity of the plants. As a result, humidity of surrounding air near the plant decreases, and it results in increasing the rate of transpiration. But remember, very high wind velocity, under very high wind velocity condition, stomata gets closed and rate of transpiration becomes equal to 0 even. So these are some of the external factors. Just see temperature, light, atmospheric humidity, atmospheric pressure, then water content of the soil, air current. These external factors we have discussed. Now the internal factors. First one, size of leaf. Size of leaves. No doubt, if leaf size is more, rate of transpiration will be more, as it will bear more amount of stomata in it. In xerophatic plants, lip size is reduced and thereby rate of transpiration is less. Second internal factor, cuticle, wax, chitin-like coatings. So these coatings of cuticle, wax or chitin, etc., if they are there on the surface of leaves, rate of transpiration reduces. Another internal factor, number and size of stomata per unit area. Rate of transpiration depends upon number of stomata per unit lip area. This number of stomata varies from 50 to 30 per square millimeter. This is an average, 300 per square millimeter. If number of stomata is more, rate of transpiration is more. Another thing, if stomatal aperture is large, no doubt rate of transpiration is more. Next internal factor, water content of mesophyll cells. If water content is more, no doubt rate of transpiration will be more. And if water content of mesophyll cells is less, transpiration rate is reduced considerably. Last internal factor, that is root shoot ratio. Rate of transpiration is increased with increase in root shoot ratio. For example, sorghum, jowar. This plant has extensive root system than that of corn. Hence, sorghum transpires at a higher rate per unit of lip surface than corn. Okay, now what is the significance of transpiration? So, this question can be asked for 5 marks even. So, for circulation of water in the plant body, see, if there is no circulation of water, continuous water circulation, if it is not there, then plant is exposed to the direct sunlight throughout day, and this will increase the temperature of the plant body, and plant will be nowhere due to the increased temperature. Death of plant will occur. But this do not happen, and this is because of the circulation of water in the plant body, and this happens due to the transpiration. So transpiration pool we have seen, and due to that upward movement of water in the plant body, so water remains in circulation, and this thing cools the temperature of the plant body. Second, absorption of minerals and their distribution in the plant body. So in ascent of sap we have seen water along with minerals is absorbed by the plant root hairs and is transported up to the top of the plant, and this upliftment force is created due to the suction or transpiration pull. So transpiration has its great role in distributing minerals to any height in the entire plant body. So ascent of sap occur through the xylem tissue, and through this the minerals are also distributed. One more significance in regulating the temperature of the plant body, we have discussed it uh, just now. Then increase in the concentration of solutes and osmotic pressure. High rate of transpiration causes increase in the concentration of solids and osmotic pressure of the cells. They increase sugar content, which improves the quality of fruits. I have told you transpiration is considered as a necessary evil. Transpiration is a necessary evil. Evil, apatti, sankat. Then sankat cannot be necessary. But here we are making the statement transpiration is a necessary evil. So on one hand, transpiration is essential one, and on other hand, transpiration is responsible for huge loss of water. That is also there. But what for it is essential? For keeping the plant body temperature, for distributing the minerals and water throughout plant body to any height. That is also important. So though there is huge loss of water through the plant body by the process of transpiration, on other hand, it is essential for creating the suction force to uplift the water and minerals to top of the plant, in general we can say. So thus we can say that transpiration is a necessary evil.